happy day. Welcome to New Age Custom Farming. If you're new here, we are a custom farming operation in Wisconsin. And today we have a big day ahead of us of Avery spreading fertilizer or spraying fertilizer, and then I'll be helping him move around for a bit, and then I'm off to go sit in my bean planter for
hardy day.
A big hardy day,
15 foot at a time.
But, shut up. But before we head off to go do our busy day, one thing that we always have to do before we leave the farm with our implements is make sure they're filled up with fuel. And we actually conveniently, let me pan the camera, have a huge storage tank of fuel that actually gets sent straight to us from CHS and then our local consumers co-op with our Cenex brand of fuel. Sounds like you're full. Filled up with fuel, then we are off to go do a big old day. Let's get to work. As Avery is handing this down to me, like I said, we have a huge fuel storage tank on our farm. On our farm that CHS and our local consumers co-op brings the Cenex fuel to us in. And it actually is super convenient, if I can do this right. It's actually super convenient. There's a sensor in it that alerts our co-op of when we're empty or when we're getting low, and then they're able to actually just bring it to us so we don't have to monitor it, and then we're never out of fuel. The beginning of spraying our liquid fertilizer actually began the week prior when our local CHS co-op actually delivered the liquid fertilizer to the farm for us, and so it's really great working with a co-op that is able to have your back like this and bring the product that you need to you versus you always running around. So they brought it the week before, and now we're able to use it this day for spraying. And then before we could actually head out to the field and they could apply the liquid fertilizer, they had to load it onto their tender truck. So that morning the boys loaded up all the products that they needed as well as our fertilizer so that they were able to keep moving all day long. A phrase you hear us say often on our farm is that we want to grow big corn and big corn only, but the start of big corn actually obviously starts right now as we're putting the seed in the ground, but then we're also giving it the food and the nutrients that it needs to grow and be big corn that I then want to harvest. So right now, like a big part of our program is fertilizer. So we have dry fertilizer going out with our airflow, and then you are adding fertilizer in
liquid form in 32%. So we're going out, the planter rolls through and plants the corn right now, and then I come behind it with the sprayer and we put our pre-emerge herbicide and some of our nitrogen out right now. So I'm spraying 25 gallons an acre of 32% right now.
And we get our 32% through our local co-op and also our dry fertilizer as well.
Yep. Should we let it rip?
When we're out applying liquid fertilizer to our cornfields, we're not just feeding the crop, we're setting the foundation for a healthy, high-yielding season. Spreading fertilizer plays a huge role in how the crop performs all year long. This year, we've been working with CHS for a fertilizer program, and what we like is that their approach actually starts with what's happening in the field. They work with local agronomists and bring practical, smart fertilizer solutions that support our crop and boost yields. Since CHS is farmer-owned, the products they develop, from fertilizer to fuel, are built around what we actually need in the field. Their fertilizer lineup has been a key part of our plan this year, and it's helping us push towards healthier, more productive fields. Farming moves fast, but CHS keeps up, bringing innovations that are made for real-life conditions, not just lab tests. They've got our back every season, and it's partners like that who help us keep moving forward. To find the right solutions for your own operation, visit chsinc.com. Well, Avery goes and sprays his first load of liquid fertilizer and our pre-emerge herbicide. I am going to run to town and go get lunch for us because pre-planting, Avery and Emily did not set ourselves up for success, and we have like nothing we can bring for lunches at our house. So I'm going to run into town and go to our local Cenex and get a sub from them for us to slip, because if you know, the Cenex subs are elite. I think they're so much superior than any other subs, and I will literally, I could give a dissertation, a PhD level dissertation about how good I think they are. So this new flavor is so good. bag secured. While you're filling up, do you want to fill up your belly too?
Oh yeah.
When Avery brought us out lunch the other day, he also got us a Cenex sub, and he put stuff on it that he likes and I don't like. So now it's my turn to put on what I want.
Well, you can put more stuff on it, and you can always take it off. I don't have the option to put more on it.
Drink for you. Some Flamin' Hots. Make some big corn for me.
I'm working on it. We got one field of corn sprayed. Now we're on to the second one.
Good work. Like Avery said, he is doing the fertilizer to grow big corn, or I guess like I said earlier, we're doing fertilizer on our corn ground, but I am off to go sit in my bean planter for the rest of the day. So Avery is going to get as much corn done as he can with our 32% from CHS and then our pre-emerge herbicide. And I will get something done with my bean drill. If you know, you know with that too. Conveniently on the way out to my bean drill, I had to drive right past our airflow that's doing our dry fertilizer. So we work with Co-op to get our dry fertilizer, and they actually tender it out to us. So I know I showed our tender trailer or tender truck earlier. We run both of them. Our tender truck is back at the farm now, and then Premier is, talk about that star service, bringing it right out to us. So this field that he's spreading the dry fertilizer out onto was soybeans last year, and it will be corn this year. So the dry fertilizer is going on ground that was beans last year and will be corn this year, just to make sure it's getting everything it needs. You can actually see it on the ground here, and then they'll come till it, and then Mason will come plant it. Okay, I kind of lied, but not really. He actually was done in that last field that he was at, and now he's on to this next field that was beans last year, and he's doing the dry fertilizer in this one. So
we said earlier in the video, for our fertilizer right now, local co-op for CHS stuff, and they make it pretty easy to bring out or to get the product out to us. So they actually tender us with one of their tender trucks and fill our airflow with it. So, and then once in a while they'll bring out one of their airflows when we're falling behind and need a little help. Before a rain, we like to slam it all out there so the rain will wash in the nitrogen instead of letting it go up in the air. So the other thing they do is they send semi loads of 32% to us right to our farm, so we don't have to drive to their location to get the product, which is a little obviously further away. Well, not obviously, it is further away than our farm. So we like to be able to have it all on hand at our farm, so when we go back there we can load up with fertilizer, we can fill the trailer up with the fertilizer, and then we can also put our chemical on that we need to too at the same time. So it really speeds us up throughout the day when they do that. And I work right with the driver, the load numbers, and then I basically tell him when I need some loads, so he can keep us full and keep us rolling. It works really good. We can get a lot accomplished in a day working with them. Good time of night with the sun like that to see the actual spray coming out. So we're laying out, like I said earlier, we're laying down our residual herbicide, which stops weeds from growing and germinating, but it obviously lets the corn grow. And then the liquid, the carrier, as you would call it. Instead of water, we're putting fertilizer down. So we kind of do two things at once here. We're making the pass anyway, so we might as well put fertilizer out there instead of water, because water doesn't really help anything at this small of a quantity. So we're using the fertilizer as our carrier for our pre-emerge herbicide. So I got the boom up in the air right now, driving back out to where I already sprayed. You can see here on the map, the green is what I've already sprayed. So I did this headland here, and I'm trying to get down and do this side of the field so you can't really see it in the camera, but there's a pivot there. So I'm trying to spray so I can move the pivot into where I already sprayed so I can spray underneath the pivot. So there you can see where I've already been spraying. I've got 120 acres done, 2 loads, onto the 3rd right now. And we'll be cruising right along. Nice big field, so easy to knock some acres out, that's for sure. I got a nice big field for the night. Spraying, so we put some dry fertilizer out here instead of all liquid up front. So now I'm only spraying 20 gallons an acre instead of 25. We like to put a few more forms of nitrogen out, dry and liquid. The more forms that we have, we think it just holds around a little better. So the machine's getting dirty, but the crop's getting fed, so that's all that matters.
We're driving home right now on one of our field roads, and this is one of our hay fields right here. And it's crazy to think that we will be chopping hay so very soon, but I want to show how strong and healthy the hay already is. This will be our 4th crop of our 4th year of hay on this field, and we actually use fertilizer, dry fertilizer as well on our hay field, just to make sure that our hay field is always getting the nutrients it needs to be able to continue to grow and produce big, good hay for the dairy farms we supply it for. Well, Avery is still out spraying fertilizer late tonight, but I just wanted to thank you guys so much for watching today's video. And I hope also, one thing that I feel like I always fail to mention when it comes to a lot of our farm videos is so I obviously showed today Avery is spraying, and then we also had one of our guys who is spreading the dry fertilizer as well, but we also have people doing tillage. We also have Mason in his planter, Brandon in the other sprayer, or tendering Mason, or tendering Avery. We have, like I said, multiple people doing tillage and stuff too. So there's always a big crew of us on our farm, and that's what makes everything that we do on our farm work. We all work together, and we're all able to get all of these big projects and big tasks done. And it takes a lot of strong people on our farm to make our farm run well, just like it takes a good co-op and a good cooperative network like CHS to help rural farms, rural communities stay strong as well. So thanks so much to CHS for sponsoring this video, and thank you guys so much for watching today's video. More to come of always lots of stuff going on the farm, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!